Good morning and welcome back, everyone. In this digital age, it seems we're always connected, always talking to someone or listening to something. But when it comes to your ears, well, how loud is too loud? Joining us this morning to discuss keeping your earphones at safe levels is Gundersen audiologist Diane Perrone. Good morning. Thanks for getting up with us.
You're welcome.
This is a battle, especially with parents who have kids. I always say if I can hear what my child is listening to, it's probably too loud. But how do you know exactly what is a safe level and when you've reached that level?
That's a really good question. It's not easy. There are some rules of thumb, like you mentioned, where if you can hear what they're listening to, you might want to ask them to turn it down if you're sitting close to them and you can follow along with the music. But you do have to be careful depending on the seal of the headphones. Some headphones have a nice seal, and then the sound can be quite loud behind that seal, and you may still not be able to hear it when you're close by.
You mentioned different seals, different types of headphones versus earbuds. Is there one that's safer for your hearing than the other?
That's another great question. It really doesn't matter so much the device or how it's being delivered to the ear. What matters is how loud it is and how long you're exposed to it. So the louder the sound, the less safe time you can be exposed to it. The softer the sound, the longer the amount of time you can be around it before it does damage. So
as a parent or just as a listener in general, should you be setting a time limit for yourself?
I think, again, that's a great question. If it's on the louder side, like at the top of the iPod level, I would say you shouldn't listen to that for more than a few minutes. So if you've got it at a softer level where you can have a conversation with the person next to you while you're wearing it, theoretically then it would be a safe level. You could wear it that level all day. So It depends on how loud it is to determine the amount of time that would be a safe amount of time to be exposed.
You know, a lot of us think we're invincible, and it's not until years later that we realize the damage that we've done. When the people that abuse their earphones, when do they start to notice the effects?
What I would say is if you are listening to anything, whether it be machinery, headphones, if when you're done your ears feel dull, it feels like your hearing is not as sharp as it was. If you have any ringing in the ears immediately after you've been exposed, those are warning signs that the auditory system is telling you that you've had too much of an exposure. So those are red flags that it's time to be more careful about what you're doing to your ears. Those are early things you can notice right after an exposure. Many years later, it might be feeling like things are muffled, just doesn't feel like people speak as clearly as they used to. That's more the damage you might notice down the line.
So keep the volume down and limit your exposure. Those are your two pieces of advice this morning?
Absolutely.
Well put. Seems simple, although it can be tricky sometimes. Diane, thank you so much for joining us. Have a great day.